Hey there, Cancer fam. How's it going? Thank you so much for joining me in this tarot reading. I'm curious as to what kind of positive vibes you may have to look forward to in March of 2025. Shall we? Okie dokie, as per usual, I've already pre-shuffled, so let's cut the decks together, beginning with the archetypes. Doop, boop, boop. And we have... Oh, there's a kitty incoming. Warning. The bridge. Oh, that's a good card. And on the bottom, we have the womb. One of the fire signs had that, but reversed, where I pulled the womb and it was the bridge that was on the bottom. Was it Leo? So if you have a moon or your ascendant is in that fire sign, you might want to check out that reading, eh? I think it was Leo. Yep. Kitty did a walk by. She just flaunted that fluffy tail and passed me up. I'm trying not to take offense. All right, moving on. Bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, personalities. This archetype is the gesture of acceptance, of saying yes rather than withdrawing, separating, and saying no. When we cross a bridge to an unknown land, we are led magically into a new reality. We open up to otherness. Healing and communication are made possible. We enter a state of curiosity. Oh, I lost my place. That's what I get for looking away. Wonder and learning. The shaman, for example, creates the bridge between the everyday world and the sacred. This card asks us to study the connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of our life, like relationships, ideologies, histories. Remember that a bridge can't be forced. It must be made with love, or its structure will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. And the womb asks us to go beyond the mother. Go beyond the origin, right? To the beginning of everything, right? And these two together, the vibe that I've been getting from them is healing. As in, that's what you need right now. That's what your heart needs, your soul, your mind. That's the point that you're at in this journey, right? Yeah. I am very way over there. Let me move over. Oh my God, let me center myself. Moving on to the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck, shall we? We have, this card has been dancing around the different astrological signs this month for me. And that's Lighthouse. Don't doubt your worth. Whenever it comes to Cancer, I always think of my cousins. So forgive me if I'm way off base with this, right? They're, the bridge brought up ideologies, right? There are ways that you may have been raised. There are ways of thinking that are just simply outdated. And part of this healing portion of the journey for you is getting that out of your head, retraining your subconscious to be kind to you, to speak nice to yourself. Because what do I always say? The subconscious has no bias. It doesn't have feelings. It's spitting back out what it's been fed, right? What it's trained to do and say. And you can have control over that, but it takes time. That's what things like free resources, by the way, but things like meditation and affirmations are for. I know that some people like to talk smack about it, but that's what it's for. retraining your subconscious to be nice to you. You know what I mean? Those inner thoughts that are constantly taking you back down pegs. You know, I feel like when we're raised in toxic environments, when we live in it, it gets in there. It's like we're tainted by the toxicity, right? So that even when they're not around, that's when we do it to ourselves. Because we're so well trained, right? Fuck that shit, okay? I forgot to change the lights. What am I doing? Oh my goodness, I just rolled with it. There we go. This is for the water babies. So this is reminding you, right, that you need to feed yourself as much love as possible right now. And with the womb card, I like to consider that or compare it to like a caterpillar going into that cocoon and then later emerging as a beautiful butterfly, right? Like every now and then I feel that we should do that, basically. Just go within and check ourselves. Why do I react the way I do? Why do I like the things I do? Is that still me? Or is it obsolete at this point? It has no merit, no bearing, right? Yeah. And on the bottom of this one, we have feather. Think first before you judge. So one thing that I feel like a bunch of us are learning finally how to do is how to recognize where someone is on their path without judging them for it, right? Which can be really difficult in our society, right? Don't feel bad. It's common. I feel like most of us, because it can come from survival mode, right? If you don't pick up on those signals, you're kind of screwed, right? But what if you don't have to worry about survival mode now? What if it's time to live? And that's what we're healing for. Our lives, the rest of our lives. We're meant to be enjoying our lives. We're meant to be happy. I don't care what anyone else has told you, if it was negative and told you that you weren't worthy. They lied to you. They fed you the same crap that they wound up believing themselves, that they didn't deserve to hear in the beginning either. But sometimes, you know, it can take a lot of strength to break those cycles, that generational trauma and such, right? And I feel like that's what's going on here, is you're being asked to go all the way back, because that's been what's been going on with all of us these days, right? I think all of us, different people handle it in different ways, but we're no longer playing with band-aids, right? We're getting to the root cause, those root things that have been messing with our heads this whole time, if that applies. With all due respect, let's see if we can find some clarification with the tarot. Maybe. Oh no, maybe. I'm very silly. Welcome to the party. Let's cut this deck. I like to think of the tarot as a story. So let's see, what is chapter 1? It's the Two of Swords. There's a two-parter to the Two of Swords. The twos usually are speaking of new beginnings, right? That's the beginning of a suit after the ace. And with the Two of Swords, my only concern is when you reach that point where you're like, no. It's not only never again, I've learned that lesson, it becomes detrimental. Like we close ourselves off because we don't want to feel that pain anymore. We don't want to let anybody else in because we got hurt the last time we did that. And that's my fear, is not being able, when you're locked in it and you're lost in the sauce, not being able to discern the difference between, it wasn't love that hurt me. It wasn't my ability to love that broke my heart. It was that person. And that person can suffer their consequences. Right? Why would you suffer somebody else's consequences? Why would you make yourself suffer somebody else's consequences? You didn't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Maybe you don't have enough people in your life to remind you of that. Cancers also have a tendency to be like us Virgos and can be very caregivers. Caregivery. It's a word now, right? You're all about family, right? And all too often, that tends to equal putting others first. And that's something else that you don't deserve. This is your life, your voice, your opinions, your heart, mind, and soul. They matter. You matter. And may you find people that you can bring into your life to feed that to your subconscious. Teach that to your subconscious. Let's get rid of the past and all of that pain and emotions and bring in new stuff, good stuff. So that's my concern. If you're so focused on the never again, then you are cutting yourself off. You're blocking yourself from love, from abundance, from happiness and joy because of that fear of being hurt again. And if that doesn't apply to you, if that doesn't resonate, the other side of that is how I'm going to point out how we have that crescent moon up there in the background, kind of reminding us of the high priestess. And the other side of the coin for never again is I can smell bullshit coming from a mile away. She's got the blindfold on, right? She has turned her back to the turbulent waters. They're behind her now. She doesn't want to see it. She doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't give a shit. She is all about that intuition. She, they, whatever, right? It's all about that intuition. And like I was saying, being able to smell the red flags coming from a mile away. You don't want it? Cool. You never have to deal with that again if you don't want to. It's time to thrive. This is a new beginning, and you need to heal your mind, my friend. Maybe that's in the past. We're still only on chapter 1. Amy, you need to stop babbling. What's chapter 2? I find it very funny that my 2 most worn out cards are coming out first. This speaks. I know that can seem kind of scary. We got a skeleton and black armor. Black, when it's like a black background and this kind of art style, the Rider Waite Smith deck, Pamela, like the black backgrounds have a tendency to represent like a dark night of the soul, depression, mourning a loss, right? Anxiety and fears. But this armor, and I want to, like, I'm also thinking of the Emperor, also has dark armor on under those red robes. Black in esoteric terms is a color of protection. But the thing about this is a very good visual for a reminder that the battle's done. Who are you fighting? There's no one to fight anymore. That was then. And this is now, right? I like to think of this religious figure there as like our wisdom, our soul, just like, whoa, we're done with that now. I don't want it anymore. I want a new life. I want a new lease on life. You know what I mean? I want to start over in this new phase, this new chapter, this new section of the book where I'm not in a battle constantly. I'm not constantly having to defend myself. I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. And I'm not doing anything wrong. It's resurrection. Transformation. You gotta let go of the old you. They went through all of that. They experienced all of that in the moment. That pain, that, for lack of better words, keeping it light, difficulty. Rather than other words I could have used, right? The only thing the past, I like to say this because I mean it, the only thing the past has to offer you now, is wisdom. Leave those emotions back there. You've already gone through it. Let go of the loop. Let go of the loop. Those people, whoever it was, whatever the situation was that hurt you, they're not worthy of you continuing to feed it. The parasitic people who just want reactions out of us and such, right? The people who are dealing with their own crap, and hurts, right? Recognize without judgment. Move on. This is your life. This is your path. And you shine. You're beautiful. And you deserve to be happy. So says me. All right? What's chapter 3? When you let go of the fear of it all. You let go and you stop the loop and you recognize, okay, I've been there and I've done that. Well, then what's left? Wish fulfillment is what's left, fam. Positive vibes and words of encouragement. Hey, this is a wish fulfillment card. Are you kidding me? Some say this buddy looks like John Travolta. I don't know if it's really focusing on their face right now. I think it looks like a little birdie got a hold, or sorry, my goodness. The birdie got a hold of the cat. Oh my. That's what I get for wanting to say the cat that ate the canary. It's your hopes and dreams all being granted, all coming true. It's nothing but positive vibes, right? Heck yeah, fam. What's chapter 4? Remember what I was saying about our minds and how they can loop and become traps, and how I want you to be nice to yourself and allow yourself to heal? That includes stop isolating yourself. This is self-inflicted. This is, I've done whatever the heck. I'm a horrible human being. This is believing the bullshit that you're being fed by people who are simply, they don't know how to handle their own pain. So they brought you down with them, whether it's intentional or not. And believing it. And feeling like you don't deserve to be with people. Turning all of that wisdom gained, all of that intelligence that you possess against yourself. Where if only you could take off the bandages, or not bandages, the bonds, the blindfold, again with the white blindfold. This one and the Hanged Man, I tend to say, I don't think that's actually knotted. I think they're holding it, and they can drop the ropes at any time. And be like, oh, I'm just going to get myself on out of this crap. I put myself here. I'm done. Deuces. And move on with your life. But there's something that you're really stuck on, and you've really just isolated yourself. And you don't deserve that. You've turned your mind against yourself. You're very well trained, my friend. So now, let's retrain. Because the battle's done. Right? Something tells me that the people who did the most damage on your mind aren't even around anymore. I mean, unless they are, it depends on who, whatever the situation. Hey, let's cover all bases. Hi. You know what I mean? But something tells me that this is, it keeps coming out of my mouth, and I'm guessing that's what it is. You're just well trained. Just be cruel to yourself. And that's what affirmations and meditation are for. I love myself. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say, I love you. Insert name here. Right? Do it. Because you should. Fuck what anybody else thinks about you. They're not breathing oxygen into your lungs. They don't deserve that kind of power over you. Ever. Ever. No matter who they are. I'm not saying abandon your family and stuff like that, but where others are on their journeys and their strength or lack thereof of being able to heal and figure it out for themselves has no bearing on you and your own journey. It shouldn't anyway. Hopefully it doesn't, right? What's coming up underneath the Two of Swords? Hierophant. It's the Two of Cups. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this may be speaking of new love that's trying to come in, right? But it also speaks of, it mainly is about harmonious relationships, healthy relationships. This could be work, this could be love, this can be new friends, right? And you don't have to be perfectly healed for them either. I really feel it's imperative to make a note of that. You don't have to be utter perfection. We're all perfect in our imperfections, right? That's what makes us authentic and individuals, even when we have so much that we can identify with one another on, that we can relate to one another on, right? You don't have to be perfectly healed to meet your soul family who's kind to you, and new best friends, people who treat you the way you deserved, right? Healing can be a lifelong process depending on the person, and that's okay. Recognize that no matter where you are on your path, you're in the right path. You're doing the right things because this is your life and not somebody else's, okay? So don't worry about that shit. So I'm gonna go with what I was saying. I think that you're scared. Maybe this is triggering you a bit. It's kind of tapping into your fears of the crap you've had to deal with before. But use your intuition. Your intuition, that will help you. And at this point, you've been through enough that you can see the red flags coming from a mile away. You can smell the bullshit, right? So don't worry about that. Trust yourself. Remember or learn how to trust yourself. You've got this, right? What's coming up underneath that death card? It's the Page of Swords, okay? So it's like there's this new lease on life, right? You have the clarity. After all of this healing, maybe you've been doing therapy, maybe just the meditating is helping to bring you some peace of mind. Do people have a tendency to underestimate you? That's what I always think of when it comes to the Page of Swords. Or someone who's younger than you is going to make a comment. They're going to share a message or something with you that just, isn't always like the simplest, dinkiest thing that somebody says and you're just like, whoa, what? That can still be so impactful. With this transformation, you've reached that point where you can hear it. It's going to make the right kind of sense for you this month. All right, what about underneath the Ten of Cups? It's the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, all right. We're wanting to know. Manifestations, law of attraction. Where is it? This is someone who has been tending to their garden, cultivating, growing this incredible bush of pentacles. You got to remember, the pentacles aren't just about money. They're the earth. They're everything. They're what sustains you. They're what gets your focus and your dedication and time and energy put into it, right? These are the things that you're building that you want. And sometimes, it can be like, dang, this is taking forever. But that's when, if you need to take a breath, if you just need to chill for a moment and take a breath, I want you to acknowledge how far you've come. That there's a long path behind you called the past. You survived that. You made it through that. You have been evolving. You don't actually want this. You don't want it. It's not comfortable. And I think that that's what's really driving you, is you hit that point where you're like, what am I doing? This isn't what I want. And I feel like people don't really have midlife crises and stuff. I feel like you reach a point where you've been doing all the things that you were told or you thought you were supposed to do. And you hit a point where you're like, I've been faking it till I make it for so long. When am I going to be happy? When is it going to feel right for me? Right? You just You need to keep going. It's not quite time for the harvest. But the nines, I mean, we have 7. Oh, yes, we do. We have 7, 8, 9. It's kind of torturous waiting for those dreams to come true sometimes, eh? But, oh my goodness, how are they? Okay, there they are. But you've got this. You're worth it. You've always been worth it. Spoilers, you've always been worth it. Okay? And what's coming up underneath that 8 of Swords? Damn, my goodness. There's so much pain and torment in your path. I'm so thankful that you're healing because you absolutely deserve it. And it's all working out. This is the final card in the Major Arcana. I'm just putting some titties out there up on YouTube. Pardonnez-moi, Daddy YouTube. But that's like the hashtag winning card. Like, you did it. You reached the finish line. You did it. It's also the Dancer in the tarot. I'm just saying, if that resonates with you, I love that card because I am a dancer myself, so high five. What's the epilogue to this story? The Ace of Wands? Are you kidding me, fam? Fuck yes. Sorry if you don't like swearing. I know some of my cousins don't. Hi, Lori. But look at you. Look at you. You have so much wisdom that you've gained. And once you stop turning, and once you heal that subconscious in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, please just follow through. Please have that consistency and allow your life to get better and better and better, because that's exactly the kind of shit we're seeing in March. This is a month, it can be, where things begin to shift and turn around, and you're going to begin seeing it in what people refer to as the 3D. This is happening. This card, whatever you may believe in, the art style is certainly speaking of a gift from the divine, and maybe a little phallic. Maybe a little phallic. Maybe it's someone who's younger than you. Hello. Right? Either way, the question is, would you accept? Are you open to receive your hopes and dreams? Because you're the only one who can get in your way. You are the only one who can hold your back. There's such a theme for so many of us right now with the planets planeting and shit, right? And the retrogrades and the this and the that, right? Ones are that fire, that passion, that creativity, right? But so are the cups. We have everything represented here. We have the cups, we have the swords, we have the pentacles, we have the wands. Boosh, fam. Look at that balance. You have everything you need. All of the tools are within you to be able to live the life that you've been longing for, that you want. It's like, I keep saying it in different videos, like, you never needed those wings to fly, right? What's on the bottom of this deck? It's the Devil card. This is a very earth card. It speaks of unhealthy coping mechanisms and being able to recognize where you've been self-inflicting, whether it's addictions or not. But on the flip side, the positive vibe side, is it can speak of all of those manifestations, all of those things that you've been trying to bring to fruition, reaching existence, your life, you, the 3D, right? This earth, tangible, right? Hey, we're gonna go with that because damn, oh, Cancers, it's okay. You've got this. You just keep, bro, that flame is so tiny. I don't know why that just distracted me. Maybe you've been looking at it going, is there even a freaking flame going on? Yeah, it's just a wee babe. So what about the extra notes? Yes, I'm autistic and ADHD. I like to call it ADHD. This is interesting. It like was doing this kind of thing, but the card that was here kind of slid out. Oh, two of them. Okay. Three. So I want you to curl up with a good book, a cup of something, and enjoy a moment of rest. I'm not talking about comfort food, you know, the kind of things we do when, you know, we get a little bug or whatever. I'm talking about like just a day of relaxation and self-care, taking the pressure off your shoulders, right? Don't worry about any plans. Just go with the flow and enjoy the vibe. Enjoy your own company. Enjoy a good book. Enjoy a cup of something. And treat yourself, okay? Don't be a statistic. Take care of yourself, all right? Those are the ones that just had to come out all on their own. And these are what I would have pulled before the interruption, is you know what to do. Boy, I've just been babbling this whole time, and you know exactly what to do. But of course, and what lies beyond creature comfort? Bing, bang, boom, there are A cards. What lies beyond creature comfort? This keeps coming up, and there's so much. It's like I was saying, where there's so much going on that we don't even realize. It just looks different for all of us, but it's kind of the same, right? We're human. Have you ever taken Psych 101? Human's gonna human, man. And on the bottom is be open to receive. Thank you for confirmation, Spirit, because I said that, didn't I? I said, are you open? Are you open to receive it? Are you open to the divine and the universe, your ancestors, the things that they want to share? I know that some of us, we don't necessarily have the best relationships with certain family members, especially the further back you go, the elder, you know, you go, right? It was just a different time, people like to say. Yeah, more difficult. How about that, right? But once we're over there and all the human bullshit just doesn't apply anymore, it's all love. And they're trying to help you. They're supporting you. They, you know, one thing I've noticed when it comes to, if you watch here on YouTube, there's all these different videos where people talk about their near-death experiences. Oh my goodness, blank, my brain just right out of my butt. Near-death experiences, regardless of their denomination, regardless of what they believe in or not, a common thread has a tendency to be that moment when you get to go over your life and the things that you said. And not only that, but how you affected others, how they felt when you said those things or did those things. So if you have people who were cruel to you that have already passed, they've probably gone through that. Whatever, like, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to believe in that kind of stuff. It's okay. I'm just babbling either way, right? Welcome to the channel. Right? So, you know, it's all love. And if anything that you're hearing or sensing isn't coming from love, that's not them. That's not your spirit guides. That's not your ancestors. They can be truthful and a bit whippersnapper with that honesty, but they love you and they want more for you than they ever had. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. This is a bit of a long one, and I appreciate your patience. Either way, this is a great month for transformation and continuing your healing journey. You have no one to fight anymore, so please stop fighting yourself. please stop turning that inward, okay? You have such an incredible mind. What are you going to do with it now, fam? Thank you for being here and keeping me company. And always remember that I love you.